Well, hello, good evening, and welcome to Rangers Radio tonight. I've been joined by Fox, I've been joined by Rudy, and our one and only Bridgeman. So, how are you guys?
Hi, Alistair. Hi, everybody.
Evening, guys.
Oh, can I just say a big good evening to the boys in the panel and a huge good evening to the guys in the lobby. Looks really good, crowded tonight. And to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
So how are you feeling, guys, after the hangover? Have we looking at it a wee bit differently today, or what's your thoughts on it, really, the game?
Still disappointed. No, I was kind of... I think you could probably tell yesterday for the my post-match call-in. I was really annoyed yesterday, Ulster, to be honest with you, because I thought we played so well. Even 10 men, we still ran the game for me. And to lose a goal, it felt like a defeat in the last a bit in the 93rd minute or something. So to lose a goal with them, and the team had played so well with 10 men, felt like a bit of a defeat, But you've got to look at the positives there. I tell you what, nobody will sort of find it easy against this Rangers team, and it looks like, I'm sure we're going to talk about later, we're looking to still add to the squad. A bit of quality, apparently. So for me, it's very positive what happened yesterday. Yeah, I mean, obviously, refereeing decisions aside and some of the actions in some of the Aberdeen players. I sat and watched the game again today this afternoon. I just think, we didn't have to dodge a bullet with Derek McInnes, in my opinion. And that was a good thing for us, Ulster, to be honest with you, that he knocked us back, because look who's standing in our dugout now. You know what I mean? Give me that man any day of the week over Derek McInnes. So, lots of positives for yesterday. Defence solid again, unfortunately losing that goal in the 93rd minute. I thought Ryan Jack was an absolute standout till he went off the park. See the day he's okay, that's good, You just a couple of hours, I think, in the hospital, and then he's all right. So that's good. I think if I was going to have any criticism, and it's not even criticism really, because Steven Gerrard knows more about football, than I'll ever know. But I think you could maybe call into question one or two of the substitutions. That's about the only thing I would say about the game yesterday. As far as the team acquitting themselves on the park, I thought they acquitted themselves brilliantly, did us proud, and it was the refereeing decisions, in my opinion, that went against them.
Happy, that's all right. Then so we'll go through it all anyway. We'll go through subs and we'll go through as the game went on. But the same as a question to yourself, Bridge, just sort of a quick summary of the game.
Oh, very, very happy with the result. It's a tremendous result, and I dare say, based on what we saw when we only had 10 men in the pitch, I thought we played remarkably well. Much like Rudy says there, I have to admit, I have to get this wee nippy bit in that says maybe there was a question mark about who he brought on when who he substituted, and he brought on Ageria. Is that how you pronounce it? I think it's Ageria. He brought that young lad on. Nothing against the boy at all. However, he is not a defensive mid, right? So he took off the main defensive midfielder who was having a blinder, and he put on what I would call as an attacking midfielder. I'm afraid, to me, that didn't quite sit right. And if we'd brought on young McCrory, I think people would have understood why he's done it and what's happening, and we were going to hold the fort to the end of the game. And it's as simple as that. Or keep holding the fort, should I say, till the end of the game. And I think we lost it with a couple of minutes to spare. We lost it. Maybe a lapse of concentration, maybe a couple of other things, and we'll speak about them later on, I would imagine, as we go through the game. But I like everybody to take note of what I'm saying here, and I'm not being funny. That's the second game in a row that we've lost a goal in the last minute or two of the game. That's all I've got to say about that. And when you add the two together, it's not much, but we still come away with a point, which I'm very happy with. Very happy.
Okay, mate. Foxy, same to yourself. Just a quick summary, mate, of the game and what your thoughts are.
I was very, very pleased with the performance on Sunday. I thought that all the pre-season work was shown when Rangers took to the field at Pittodrie. I thought the team had gelled well for being put together in such a short space of time. the way they fought and battled for each other was very pleasing, and I think that'll see us in good stead as we go forward into the season. Very pleased. Sad to lose a goal at the end, but these things happen. You couldn't doubt any one of them had played with heart and passion for the club on Sunday. That's my summing up here.
Excuse me. We're going to talk about different things tonight. Obviously, we'll rate the different players in the pitch. We'll take a wee bit of time to talk about each one. And, of course, we'll also talk about the referee for obvious reasons. But we'll go through the game as the points came in as the game started. About 12 minutes in, Morelos sending off. That's probably the biggest part of the game, should I say. Rudy, your thoughts again on that, mate? Haven't thought about it again.
You're talking about 10 minutes into the first game of the season, so it took 10 minutes for them to find a reason. But on the other hand, Alfredo didn't help himself. You know, he's got to learn. He's got to know. I said this yesterday after the game, Ulster. Alfredo's got to know they're going to look for any reason to send a Rangers player off. It's just the way it is. Look at the case of Ryan Jack, the amount of times he was sent off for nothing incidents last season. This is how it's going to be. He's going to have to get that into his head. I think he let us down a wee bit by the kick out. You know, he's a fiery wee character. He'd been barged twice. McKenna had barged into him twice. And for what I seen the day again, which I didn't really notice yesterday, the second time he done it, he stuck his shoulder right into Alfredo's neck. I mean, by any stretch of the imagination, that's got to be a card. An off-the-ball incident like that has got to be a card. But McGeechy never saw it, but he saw Alfredo kicking it, you know. So I think it was a bit tough on him, on Alfredo, considering it was 10 minutes into the first 11 minutes into the first game of the season. It would have made much more sense for the two of them to be called over, as I said yesterday. Quick word in both their ears that this stops now. Enough. I've saw what happened, and that's it. It's enough. The both of you are getting a yellow card. Next time you're at it, you're getting another yellow card, and you're going to be off the park. So for me, it was tough on Morelos. I don't know. I haven't saw anything today if the club's going to have it looked at or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, the appeal's already in.
Have they appealed? Right, that's good then. That's good. I don't know if I'd put much store on it getting rescinded, to be perfectly honest, you know, because, you know, I saw a lot of stuff today that by the letter of the law, according to all the pundits and all the usual, you know, so-called journalists, that by the letter of the law, the ref was quite right to send them off. But look, you're talking about 10 minutes, as I say, into the first game of the season, you know. I mean, you couldn't just have a word with the both of them, you know. As I said, I'd even give them both a yellow card and say, right, that's enough. I saw what happened there. That's enough. Just, that's it. Put a stop to it now, you know. So for me, I hope it does get rescinded, because I think the last sort of 2-3 games, Alfredo's been excellent for us. Excellent. The power of work up front, you know, and he's been playing really well, and he seems to be coming on to a game now for us, doesn't he? You know, so I hope it gets rescinded. Yep. But it was certainly a bit tough on him, I thought.
Agreed, mate. Agreed. What about yourself, Bridge? First of all, the actual incident itself, and then after, mate, if you give us your views on the club putting an appeal in.
Well, I honestly think to me it was a stupid red card. There's no need for the referee to pull a red card out on that incident. He's obviously not seen it correctly, and he's went with a linesman who is looking at it basically from behind. He might see a different view, which we haven't seen. We won't know until someone maybe puts it on Twitter or something like that, a telephone, listen to me, a camera, a mobile camera shot on it. We might see that different. We may see what the linesman said. But to go with the linesman, to send a man off, when the two of them are still standing up, it's not as if they booted each other and then the both of them all fell over, or one dug the other. So, as far as I'm concerned, I hope that the officer, what's his name, the compliance officer, because of a bit of furore about this, I hope the compliance officer looks at that himself and decides, no, that was assault to all intents and purposes. The barging is uncalled for, a yellow card and a one-game ban. That's what I would expect them to do. And I hope that Rangers, I did say it last night, if it was me, as soon as Morelos went off the park, there would have been an appeal in straight away. And I hope we take it all the way. And I really do hope we take it all the way, because we I would like that when they get to these appeals and all the rest, I'd like to know from a Rangers perspective what they can do, because there should have been a red card against Aberdeen player at the penalty incident, and I actually sat and I heard their manager.
Well, come on, we're coming onto that bridge.
No, I'm saying I heard their manager denying it, saying no, that was a wrong. He's a diver. He's turning around and saying the Rangers player's a diver. Wrong. However, that's what I've got to say about that.
Fox?
I'm a wee bit different for Rudy. I didn't think it was against it. Well, it was against the rules, but it wasn't a red card for me. It's got to be violent conduct. I didn't think it was violent conduct. I thought what had happened is we obviously seen that the boy barged into him with an elbow, not once but twice. And he did retaliate. But I think Morelos took a wee chance with him being young, because it was away from where the ball was and the play was. He just was giving him a wee tap back to let him know, I'm no standing for that, you know. Obviously, It was something the Aberdeen manager had told the Aberdeen player to do to him. Happens in football. And I think if he'd have done that to 90% of the guys that play football, they reacted similar. It was never a red card. It was a booking for both players, and the referee got it wrong for me. And I think the red card will be rescinded, same as it was 4 times last year for Ryan Jack.
Fair enough, mate. I think we've been joined by Gaz as well, but I just have my own quick views on that challenge. I think you're right, guys. If the referee if the linesman is so quick to make a decision on the kick out, as we'll say, I think how can he not notice the 2 barges before that? Why does the referee make a decision so quick? I think the referee should go over to his linesman and ask him, was there anything that maybe incited Morelos? You know, I mean, look at the challenge more and what happened around it. But unfortunately, the referee made a quick decision to send the player off. I think the club's right to put the appeal in, but let's face it, even if it does get rescinded, what good's that to us? We had to play a game with 87 minutes with 10 men. That's no good to Rangers.
That's a good point you make, Ulster. You know, it's all one appealing it and getting it rescinded, which is great, because I let Alfredo get back and play again. But at the end of the day, we dropped 2 points. You know, we dropped 2 points in a game that we had to play for 87 minutes with 10 men, and we were still the better team, you know, but we still came away with the 2 points. You know, so for them to rescind it now, that happened to us way too often last season. And we can't have that this season. That's not on it. I said to you yesterday after the game, I'm getting sick of it now. I really am getting sick of these referees. You know, so we have to start making a bit of a noise about it. I know some people don't want to stay because it's not how Rangers do things. Well, look what happens when Rangers don't do anything about it. It keeps happening, you know. So we have to do something about it, say something about it, you know. So, but I do agree with you. What's the point?
Yeah, well, it's the same. I think. Well, that's gonna. Yeah, exactly. You're saying it, but you're saying that they were wrong. But that's no good to us now. It's the same thing. I think it's on her. It's the same thing. I think it's on her. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. I think it's unheard of for one player. Now, Ryan Jack was out for a large part of last season, a large part of it, but that was the same guy. I think 4 red cards got rescinded. That's not good enough, and it's not good enough for us because we can't be down to 10 men. It's all right saying it's all right. The decision will be overturned. That's no good. It's no good when you're looking points and you're trying to challenge for leagues. But that's something I'm sure we'll talk about more. Gaz, welcome, mate. How are you?
Hi, Reels.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, buddy.
We're a bit better than what we were yesterday, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hello, Gary. You still rolling along, my old chap?
Wheels, don't you listen to him, pal?
What about yourself, Wheels? Basically, obviously, I don't think we've heard you much about the actual games. What do you think about the game overall? And as I say, we're going to talk about the referee performance later on. But what did you think? Just a summary of the game, mate.
The game itself, mate, I was very, very happy with the way we played. It's night and day from last season already. Do you know what I mean? There's just a lot more fight in the team. And going down to 10 men, sometimes it can be harder, but sometimes it can actually be easier for teams. But we played them off the park the entire game. 1 lapse of concentration at the end. and the points are gone, you know. But last season, or I know he was out the majority of it, but I wasn't really taken to Ryan Jack, if I'm honest. But my opinion has completely changed the last couple of games. He has been an absolute standout in both games. So I really do hope that he comes back quickly. Just to say my piece on the Morelos thing, if I may.
Now, of course, go ahead, mate.
I heard, I think it was Rudy that said, by the letter of the law, it was a red card. Well, the rule states where the level of excessive force and or brutality and or endangerment of the safety of an opponent involved in the challenge for the ball was exceptional. So where was the excessive force and the brutality?
I'm sorry, guys. I think you've picked me up wrong here. I'm going to
Poor Rudy.
No, I'm not. I know you weren't saying it, Rudy. I know you're saying that was what the pundits were saying.
That's
I know
right,
that.
That's what they're hanging their hat on. Sorry, I probably didn't put it up across.
No.
But that's what they're hanging their hat on. Is the point I was making, you know.
So my question is, where was the excessive force? Where was the brutality? And where was the endangerment?
Yeah, I agree with you, Gary. Totally.
I mean, it's... Yeah. And there was an incident against St Johnstone, I believe it was, last season.
That's right.
A very similar thing happened. And there was no punishment.
Well, I think that the St Johnstone was against David Bates. And I think actually the next game, David Bates got a punch in the stomach as well.
He did.
And didn't get a red card. So
nothing.
You know, but we'll go on to the referee, the decision for the penalty. So Windass was obviously took down. Looked like it was a goal scoring opportunity in the rules, as they've been telling us about. The people would be saying that could be given as a red card, but unfortunately, Ball wasn't given anything for that. So, what do you think on that, Rudy? The penalty decision?
It was a no-brainer, wasn't it? You know, Josh Windass is through and goal. The ball's in front of him. He's basically got an empty goal. Lewis is at the side. You know, he's got to do is knock the ball into the net, and before he gets the opportunity, Ball grabs his shirt and yanks him back. It's it's as clear a penalty as you'll ever see, really. You know, as far as Dominic Ball goes, it's a red card. He's blatantly pulled Windass back and stopped him from, he's gone through and go. It's a clear goal scoring opportunity. You know, they talk about rules all the time, all these pundits, but they seem to pick and choose the rules that suit them and what doesn't suit them, It was a sending off all day long. How Derek McInnes could say that Windass was a diver or whatever he wants to say about it, and why Dominic Ball shouldn't have been sent off. It's an absolute joke, but you would expect a manager of the opposition team to come out with that, It was a penalty all day long, Ulster, simple as that, and a red card for Dominic Ball.
I agree, mate. What about yourself, Bridge, on the penalty decision, mate?
It was 100% penalty. And I believe, and I don't know how true this is other than what you read, and I've been reading up on it, and what it says is, and I think our manager's got it spot on, in that situation, if the referee gives a penalty, then he must also give a card. And I believe it's got to be a red card for that situation. So he's given the penalty for something, and as long as he's got it in his book that the red card was for pulling, pushing, whatever it be, with the guy's jersey and brought him down, then that's a red card offence. So I can't understand why it's not been given. And I dare say neither can our manager, unless, of course, the referee's given it for a different thing. Maybe given it for a barge. That kind of thing where he thinks he's gone for the ball. No, he never went for the ball. He was nowhere near the ball, and he never have got the ball between now and tomorrow. He wouldn't have got it. So as far as I'm concerned, it was 100% penalty kick and 100% red card that goes with it. And that's what should have happened. And obviously it didn't. And that's one of the reasons why our manager has come out and said certain things, and that's why we'll continue to do so. Rangers fans have been shouting about these things for a long, long time. A long time.
Foxy?
Certain red card for me. I think the referee bottled it. I think he was worrying in case he got accused of levelling things up. And he got it wrong, mate. It was the penalty. It was no doubt it was a penalty kick. And he just shat it, mate. That's the best way I could possibly put it.
Gaz?
Yeah, mate. I think it's to do with this whole double jeopardy thing that you have probably heard about, where if the penalty is given, that's seen as punishment enough. So whether that's the reason that he wasn't sent off, but it was a clear goal scoring opportunity, and it was a red card for me because, let's face it, he had no intention of playing the ball at all. So, absolute stonewall. And I agree with, I think it was Rudy said there, he's bottled it. Do you know what I mean? He's just completely bottled it. Either that or he just knew he wasn't going to give the red card. So, that.
Gary, see this double jeopardy thing that's been brought in? Do you not think that's a cop-out?
Aye.
Cop-out, Gary. I think that allows referees to do what Clancy done yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That allowed him not to send Dominic Ball off.
Aye.
So it's a cop-out for me, mate. That's what that is.
Right, well, we're going to talk about the actual penalty that Tav took in a wee second. But first of all, I just want to give a couple of wee shout-outs. So we're doing a new exciting thing, Rangers Radio here. We're actually giving supporters clubs a half an hour slot every week to come on, talk about their club, their history, their travel, how they get the games, how they were formed, etc. And we've got Plymouth True Blues, who's the first. We've got a bit of a list. So Plymouth True Blues are the first on the list. They're going to be coming on tomorrow. Representing them is going to be a fella called Davey. Plymouth True Blues do a lot for us. They do a lot of sharing of the page and canvassing for us. They do a great job. So that'll be fantastic to hear them. So tune in tomorrow night, guys, and you'll hear Plymouth True Blues. They'll be the first supporters club on Rangers Radio, giving us a wee bit about their supporters club, which is great. Also, Union Bears are going to be doing. They put it out tonight that they're going to be doing a march to the first home game of the season. So if anybody who's listening from the Union Bears, you're more than welcome to come on, get involved, ring up through Skype, guys, and you've got a platform here to talk about it and promote it, guys. So get yourselves on. You're more than welcome. Any Rangers supporters group, anything to do with Rangers, if you're involved with it and you just want to chat about it and promote things, we've got the platform here for you to do that.
Is that at the Mirren game this weekend, mate?
That's it, mate. First home game.
I think I read that. I think it's leaving for the Loudon at Kinnan Park about 1:45. So, they're meeting up there at 1:45, and I think they leave at 2:00. So, anybody that's young and fit, get along there and support the Union Bears.
100%. And a big shout out to Lee as well, just from the Plymouth True Blues also, because he's been doing a lot of work and he's the one who's obviously got this organised to get the club on, which is fantastic. So thanks very much, Lee. Go ahead, Bridge, you were coming in there.
I was just going to say that just before we move on to the next subject, that the last subject we're speaking about there was about the penalty. And what I'm saying is that I understand fully what the rules, regulations and so on and so forth could be. All I'm saying is, as far as this is concerned, if the referee has deemed that to be a pull or a push on the player, if the rule's still the same and not double jeopardy, if the rule's still the same as it was, or a new rule or whatever, that says if there's a penalty given under these certain criteria, then it's got to be a red card. If the referee has made a mistake on that, I would expect the compliance officer, because it's national now, isn't it? I mean, everybody's seen it, so and everybody's got their opinion on it. So I would expect the compliance officer to come out and say there has been a miscarriage here, so we'll need to take Mr. Dominic Ball and give him a red card, a belated red card and a 2-game suspension. That's what should happen.
Yeah, I think given the rules, if the referee hasn't made a decision on it, I think it depends. I think it's all to do with red cards, etc.
That's not true. The referee hasn't made any decision because it depends what he's said. I'm saying if he said it fits this criteria, or he gave it for the push or the pull, then we know that apparently the rule says if there's a push or a pull on a player, and given the situation there's a goal-scoring opportunity, then a penalty must be given and a red card. And the thing is, the referee seems to have missed out the red card. That's all I mean. If that's the case.
Okay, mate, no problem. We'll wait and see, I suppose, if anything's to be done about that. Rudy, I want to talk about Tav's penalty, because at 10 men down at Pittodrie, one of the biggest games you'll play in the season, mate, with 10 men and such an important penalty kick to get you 1-0 in front. To be so calm and collective, mate, and he actually hit it to the same side the keeper would dove to, but it was just that good of a strike and well placed. The keeper couldn't get a hand to it, which I thought was fantastic. So what do you think of Tavernier for being calm, cool and collective to hit that?
It was a huge amount of pressure on him, Ulster, wasn't it? To step up there, knowing the significance of what was happening. We'd lost Morelos, the dodgy decision. We're down to 10 men. We're up there, as you say, at Pittodrie. And he steps up there as calm as you like, slots it away brilliantly. All right, the goalie got his fingers to it, but I think Tav had put a bit of power into it, so he couldn't keep it out. He couldn't push it in the post or anything. Fair play to him. It was a great penalty. Took it really well, stayed really calm, and there was a wee bit of a carry on before the penalty, wasn't there? But no, Tav, he showed his quality for me there. That's the Tav that we want to see. The guys want to lead, on the front foot, and he's there. He's saying, "I'm taking this. This is going in the back of the net." Every confidence in himself. He hit the back of the net. And he done it, as I say, huge amount of pressure at that moment in time to take the penalty, and he done a brilliant job. Fair play at Ulster. It was a really good penalty.
Bridge. Is Bridge doing a bridge? He will come in. He's just.
I'm indeed doing a bridge.
He was on mute again.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. No, the penalty, I thought, well taken penalty, and I love watching Tavernier doing these things. However, I thought I saw the goalkeeper getting a hand to it, but just couldn't get enough weight behind it to push it out. But well taken penalty, nevertheless, and delighted. And it's not as if we didn't deserve it. I thought we were well worthy of a goal at that point in time, even though we were down to 10 men. Well worthy. Well done, Mr. Tavernier.
Fox.
I thought he played that. That was a captain's part. No worry with him. Struck the ball sweetly into the corner of the net. I always wonder when outfield players that aren't strikers don't take penalty kicks. I always think it's a case that they've not got the confidence sometimes, but can you say anything about Tav? He scores goals throughout the season, never mind penalty kicks. I love him.
You're a big fan, Fox, aren't you?
Oh, I love Tav, mate. Love him.
Well, we'll be talking about Tav in depth soon enough. So, Gaz, the penalty?
It was absolutely brilliant, mate. I loved it. That is the one big thing that I've always got trust in Tav with, is dead ball situations, whether it's a penalty, free kick, whatever. He's always been great at dead ball situations. As Rudy said, that wee carry on before it could have easily, put him off, but not cool as you like and gave the keeper no chance. So I was absolutely delighted with him.
Brilliant, mate. We're also going to go on about the 56. There's different things that happen, but we'll go on to different notable things. On 56 minutes, Goldson wins a big header. The ball came in, he headed the ball out. It went to an Aberdeen player, but it was well done by Windass, who normally gets a wee bit of stick for not tackling, but he done well to get his foot in the ball, put us on the counter-attack, slipped it into Murphy. And I don't know if you remember Murphy then passing at the big Koulibaly, and we've seen his legs going and how quick he was. Unfortunately, just couldn't get the shot off. I think the defender caught up with him a wee bit and made the block, but really, did you think that was a nice wee bit of a move by Rangers? Because we do know Windass does get a wee bit of stick for maybe not putting in the challenges, but I thought it would be well to note that, mate, that he got his foot in and got us on a nice counter-attack at that point in the game.
He certainly did, and as you see, big Koulibaly's got a bit of pace about him, hadn't he? He just couldn't get the shot away. Just as he swung his boot to take the shot, the defender got in and sort of blocked it with his leg. I think it went out for a corner, if I remember right. But I thought Josh Windass played fairly well. I'm very critical of Josh Windass. I saw some stuff the day on can't mind what it was now, but I saw some stuff today, and somebody was absolutely lambasting him, and I don't think any of the team deserved that today after their performance yesterday. We had, the same guy was also said that something about Aberdeen controlling the game for the vast majority of the match, and I'm thinking, did you watch the same game that I watched? Because that's not how it looked to me, and Josh Windass played a big part in that for me yesterday. He was making himself available, he was trying to break the play up, he was trying to start attacks when he got the opportunity. If anyone is the penalty, so for me he had a fairly decent game, So Koulibaly, as you say, I think Koulibaly will just get better and better, Ulster, as the weeks go on. I think he'll get more match fit. He's a big, strong boy, he's got a bit of pace, and if he can add a few goals to his game as well, then that's a bonus for us. But certainly, I wouldn't criticise any of the players, for their performance yesterday. I thought Josh Windass done really well in that situation. It was, fair play to him.
We'll go quickly we'll sort of round it up the game, then we'll talk about individual players. But the goal that Aberdeen scored, how do we look at it again today and sort of the build up to that? I think the ball came out to the midfield of Aberdeen. Ajaria then run out to close down the player, which was Devlin. Devlin obviously winged the ball up and high into the air, into the box. Koulibaly tried to win the header, but Big Considine was a wee bit too tall for him. Headed the ball down into sort of the path of Anderson. Obviously, he got the ball then, it was nicely into the corner. I don't think McGregor had much of a chance with it. It was nicely placed. But if you look at it again, Taves actually goes towards Anderson, but then he sort of tracks a different run. He sort of stumbles a wee tiny bit. And you can see Goldson tracking May's run. At that time, he was looking for May, had made a run, he had went to track it, but because the way Taves was a wee bit in his road, by the time he seen the ball then going to Anderson, you seen that he just made that split-second judgment to go to him. I think that's why people are getting a wee bit of stick for how he dived in to try and block that, but I think it was because he was tracking May's run and had to make a split-second decision to try and close down Anderson, but it's just a wee bit late getting there. So what do you think, guys? Could we have done better there in the I'll go to you again, Rudy, I'll go to everybody else in the panel. Just looking at it again, is there anything you think we could have done better maybe for that goal of Aberdeen's?
I think it's unfortunate that we lost. Well, of course it is. It's unfortunate for the players as well, because I'm sure they were absolutely gutted in the dressing room at full time, losing a goal in whatever it was, like the 93rd minute of the game or something. I think that possibly, I don't know, I kind of got the impression that Goldson was sort of caught in two minds, to be honest, because if you watch it, it's like there's a wee bit of a stumble for Goldson. He doesn't seem to know which way to go, lets the boy get the shot off, sort of thing. Yeah, there was stuff apparently in the papers the day that Goldson was trying to dive at the way of the ball and all that. It couldn't be any further from the truth. That was the usual garbage, in the papers.
Garbage.
Garbage. It was a long, hard game for them. It was the 93rd minute. They played, they were down to 10 men, for something like 87 minutes of the game. Hard game. They were concentrating all the time, especially the defence, because it looked to me that all Aberdeen had for most of the game, even when Rangers did get into 10 men, was the big long ball, the big punt up the park. They weren't really interested in keeping it in the ground and trying to play football. It was more the big punt up the park and put pressure on the defence, hoping to sneak something, and it worked. Eventually worked. I wouldn't be too critical of Goldson or any of the defence, to be honest, because I thought they'd done a sterling job yesterday, Ulster, to be perfectly honest.
Yep, I agree with you. I mean, I think if you're going to play 87 minutes with 10 men, one of your biggest rivals, and only to actually have one shot at your goalkeeper, I think that's pretty good going for the defence, mate. I know. Bridgeman, you're the defence expert on here, mate. What do you think? You looked at it, I'm sure, a couple of times. Do you think there's anything we could have done better?
Well, can I just point out one thing? That when the ball's headed, when the ball comes in, obviously I'm expecting my centre-half to do the business, or whomever is attacking that ball to do better than that. And Koulibaly was a man that seemed to be over, shall we say, easily beaten for me on that jumping for the ball. He's not the tallest guy, so there's lots of, you could say, excuses. But number two, if you ever watch it again, I think it's in the lobby now, You watch Considine wins it and headers the ball across, and you see the young boy Ferguson and Tavernier's moving in towards the ball, and Ferguson takes him out. This is before the boy gets the ball and scores. If you could just watch it, you'll see Tavernier getting taken out by Ferguson, barged, you know. You could call it what you like. I would suggest that's a free kick. No problem at all. But the referees get no taking in away. The guy put a lovely shot in, and it looked like, to me, it looked as if Goldson was trying to get out of the way of the ball, but I don't know whether he just tripped over his own feet. I'm not dead sure. But to get a ball like that past Alan McGregor is absolutely brilliant. It was a great goal. If we'd scored that goal, I'd have been ever so happy. Seriously, it was a good goal.
Well, I'm looking at Facebook at the moment, so I can't see. Is the goal in the lobby at the minute?
Yep, it's in the lobby now.
Well, if you can watch again, you'll see. Look at the ball, the track of the ball. You'll look at the run that Stevie May makes. Now he's their attacker. He's their most dangerous player as a goal scorer on the park at that time. If you can see for a split second that Goldson is looking that run, he's tracking that run. I think when Tavernier goes down, he then sees the ball, the track of the ball has went on through to Anderson, and you can see that he makes a quick judgment to go to Anderson. I think that's why the tackle he makes looks how it does. It's just because it was a freak. It was just a freak the way the ball came in, and he had to change his footing very quick.
It could be that. I think that there should have been. To me, I'm only from a defensive perspective. I thought it was a poor defensive header by our midfielder. Obviously, never actually headed the ball because Considine got it. Secondly, definite barging by the Aberdeen player long before the boy got the ball and long before he scored the goal. So I'm not complaining about the goal at all. I'm complaining about the foul, and the referee's there and watching it. So that's all I can say.
Bridge.
Foxy? Oh, go ahead, guys.
Sorry, mate. I was just going to ask Bridge because, as you say, he's the defence expert. Do you not think there should have maybe been 2 or 3 firing out there to close him down before he managed to hit that high ball in? Because I think it looked like it was only Koulibaly that tried to close him down. For me, there should have been 2 or 3 out there trying to...
I think we have to remember it's getting to the end of a game where we've only got 10 men, but it's only been like that for the vast majority of the game. Possibly by this time it's 80, maybe 84, 85 minutes when we've been on without the 10 men. So very difficult to say, tired legs and all that. I must admit, I'm disappointed because we were in defence and we never cleared the high ball into our box. Right, he's on the edge of the box, so we get big players in our team, and yet Koulibaly, I'm not taking anything away from Koulibaly. I'm not blaming anyone. But the situation's there, a high ball's coming in. Theoretically, we should be able to handle that. But you look, Koulibaly gets beat, then the young lad May runs across, which maybe takes Goldson's eye out. That's all right. Centre half will do that anyway. But then the young lad that goes in and takes out to Tavernier. So you get 2 Rangers players on the ground when they score a goal in your own area. No good, eh? They've not touched the ball.
Foxy?
They got a chance and scored with me. I think the problem started about 5 minutes before that when we were under a bit of pressure. We were clearing the ball up to the midfield instead of putting it in the touch. And they were able to get control of the ball and keep sending the ball forward all the time. They were putting direct balls into the box. We fell back too deep, allowed them to get players to come forward. And that brought about the chance that they eventually got. As for Goldson, I think he thought at first that the boy was going to shoot into the left-hand side and tried to spread himself to block the shot. It was a well-taken chance. They got one chance in the game and the young boy took it. I don't think we've got a lot to complain about, you know.
Gaz? You still with us, Gaz?
Sorry, I'm still here. Sorry, I missed that. You cut out. What?
That's just we're just talking about that. Do you see anything we could have done better, mate, or do you just think it was nice play and that's how it goes?
I mean, taking nothing away for the goal, you know, it was a great finish. As I say, I do feel that we could have maybe closed down a bit better because we have been really good at that the last few games. You know, we've done a lot more closing down. So, but I get what Bridge is saying. You know, it was the end of the game. There's tired legs out there. But no, as I say, take nothing away for the goal. It was a great finish. And as I said, if you can beat McGregor for there, then it must be a great goal, you know.
Can I just say on this bit, I'm not being funny when I say this, I'll go back to what I was saying earlier. That's 2 games in a row. We've lost a goal in the last minute. We need to tighten that up. I know it's tough and all the rest of it. I understand fully. But 2 similar type goals that went in, you know, ball on the deck and end up good goals, good shots at goal, let's put it that way, that found their way into the net. We're allowing these shots to go inside our own box. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. And we need to watch out for that. So obviously the manager knows, and he'll hopefully take cognizance of it and remedy the situation.
Okay, mate. We'll move on to a few different incidents that happened on the park. First of all, we'll go about the May one, because I think that was the worst of the 2, because obviously it ended up Ryan Jack in an ambulance. So go on to that, Rudy. What did you think of the challenge to May, mate, and the referee's reaction to it?
I thought it was an absolute disgrace, first of all, that he wasn't sent off. It wasn't even a yellow card and wasn't even a foul, because it was the actions of a coward, in my opinion. He ran all of 15, 20 yards. Ryan Jack was looking at the ball, had his back towards him, and he just jumped up and slammed right into Ryan Jack. It was the actions of a coward. It wasn't a face-to-face, 50-50 tackle. It was the actions of a coward. And all he done was set out to day Ryan Jack and pay him back. It's as simple as that. He had no intentions of getting the ball. He got nowhere near the ball. In fact, I think it actually bounced off him without him even looking at it. All he was interested in doing, in my opinion, Ulster, was returning the favour to Ryan Jack. But it was a cowardly tackle, because he ran for, as I say, about 15, 20 yards away, sprinted, leapt up as high as he could, and just slammed right into Ryan Jack with no intentions of getting the ball. Ryan Jack, never seen him coming, could do nothing about it, and as a consequence, ended up on a stretcher in an ambulance and off to hospital for a couple of hours. A cowardly tackle, in my opinion, that should have seen a red card. Simple as that.
Just before I go to Bridge, we're getting a lot of questions on Ryan Jack now. I don't know if any of you guys in the panel know how he's doing, but at the minute I have no updates myself. I don't know if anyone's...
I think I've seen something earlier.
He's been released. He's been released from hospital.
He's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
he's okay.
Great.
Apparently he's okay. He's been released from hospital. But obviously I think there's this new rule where they have to pass whatever it is medical before they're allowed to play again, because there's been a head concussion, should I say, head injury or concussion. So they've got to go and prove themselves to whomever. I don't know whether it's just done through the club or whether they have to go somewhere else.
That's the best decision to make. That's a professional decision, isn't it? Let's just make sure everything's okay. If that means he has to be in for a while, that's just the players' safety's paramount. Bridge, yourself, mate, on the challenge by Stevie May to Ryan Jack.
Well, I have to say, the whole world's seen it. Everybody who watched that game saw it, and I don't know if anybody, other than Rangers fans, may I say, certainly every Rangers fan thought it was most assuredly a foul. And most assuredly a card, and in all probability should have been a red, because Rudy described it quite well there. There's absolutely no way that Ryan Jack could have got out of the way. The guy was up at his shoulders and he smashed him in the back of the head with his elbow. That's the way I see it. He was running sideways, so he's clattered into his back with his hips, and he's battered him with his elbow in the back of the head. So no wonder he's got a concussion, and no wonder he get carried off. Not surprised. However, may I say, all the Rangers fans and probably our management will complain bitterly about it. I don't think he got booked anyway. He certainly never got spoken to by the referee. We got a free kick for it, I think. That was it. Now, that was just shocking. Once again, another dreadful decision by the referee, or what do they call it again? Another bottling by the referee. He bottled right out of making a decision. And I think one of the boys used to say this regular last season. He was saying it's easier for them not to make a decision when it's against the Rangers. Don't make any decision. Just leave it and let it go. I think it was young Mount that used to say that. You'll see it all the time. They'll do that against us. There's a foul. They'll not make any decision on a card or anything like that, as long as it's just against the Rangers, because Rangers don't say anything. Well, this time our manager's saying things, and I hope for everything that we get our own just desserts against these teams, and all these things will mount up, and somewhere along the line there's going to be a big bust up, and that's for sure, a big bust up.
Okay, mate. Just before we ask Foxy, first of all, Brits, can you give us a wee shout out with a number, mate, for people to ring in?
Oh, the number is 0141 356 and 1972.
And Fox, how else can people join us, mate?
You can join us at rangersradio.online on Skype, and I'll bring you into the call.
And your points on the challenge, mate, from Stevie May to Ryan Jack.
Poor challenge by a poor player. Whether it was intentional, nobody can say for certain, but it was a very poor challenge. And if it had happened the other way round, Ryan Jack would have probably been sent off for it.
I have to agree with you, mate. I have to agree with you 100% there. We've seen that a few times last season alone. Gaz, yourself, mate, you're at the challenge.
Well, going back to what I said at the very beginning, Ulster, excessive force, brutality, endangering an opponent, I think that ticked all those boxes for me, mate. So for me, it was a straight red, not a doubt about it. I think that ticked all those boxes that I talked about earlier on. And again, the referees bottled it, or just didn't want to give, anything against them. So, yeah, it's after the stuff I had seen before that, I wasn't surprised, if I'm honest, mate. But I just hope Jack makes a speedy recovery.
Here.
Okay.
Here.
We'll also go on to Rudy. I'll ask you now, mate, about the Devlin grabbing Artfield by the shirt and then actually pulling him towards his head. Now I'm thinking to myself, if you're going to make decisions early in the game, about 10 minutes in, such a big game, 11 minutes in, a player who's kicking out, inciting, basically, behaviour, that's why he's been given the red card. I'm thinking to myself, Rudy, you've got a chance there to even things up. You're not going to get a better chance of a player doing that on the field of play.
He literally,
what's happening?
Yeah, he grabs Arfield by the shirt, pulls him towards him, and sticks his forehead in Arfield's face, and he gets away with it. The same thing happened at Ibrox last season in the 3-2 game against Hibs, where Ryan Jack gets sent off. It's laughable. Clancy's performance yesterday, he made so many blunders that it's just absolutely laughable. How he get away with that is just totally beyond me.
Well, what worries me is, Rudy, is the fact that Artfield also gets a yellow card for standing there. He gets pulled. You see the shirt, you see the replay, he gets pulled by the shirt, both hands. Yeah. And gets brought in and pulled into, Devlin pulls him into his own head. And Artfield gets a yellow. And I'm thinking, if Artfield gets a yellow for that, if he moves his head an inch forward, is Artfield going to get the red card?
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Devlin deserved to walk for that as well. They could have lost about 3 or 4 players yesterday, and they never. Because Clancy is a bottler, and he's a bad referee, but he's something else in my opinion. But I'll just keep that to myself at the moment.
Okay.
You know what I think. You know what I think of Clancy.
I know where you're coming from. Well, you did say it weeks before. You did say as soon as you heard the song ref, you brought out your worries, mate, didn't you? On here.
I mean, you actually see Arfield. He puts his hands down at the side and sort of puts them on his waist and tries to push him away and say, get away, sort of thing. Back off, man. What's that? What are you doing? And he was provoked. There was aggression there from the Aberdeen player, from Devlin. And yeah, Arfield gets a booking for it as well. That was just laughable.
Bridgeman?
Well, I think looking at that incident, it starts off with Arfield making a tackle on Devlin. And obviously Devlin, a slight injury through it, I think. But it was a good tackle, fair enough tackle. But then he gets his chance immediately, within the seconds. He gets his chance and he grabs him. And he just literally lifted him up and pulled him to him. I'm sorry, that's assault. As soon as you put your hands on an opponent, it's an assault. Finished. You're off the park.
You're
Don't care what happens. And he pulls him in like, you used to. I'm not going to say what used to happen when you did that and sort of when you bumped into bad people and things like that in the town, But you know what I'm talking about? It's there, and somebody just grabs him, pulls him in, and if that wasn't ready to just stick a nut in the boy, I don't know. And I've got to ask you guys and everybody in the lobby, somebody tell me, what did Arfield get booked for? Because he never done anything. What did he get booked for?
We're all asking ourselves that same question.
Because he was wearing a Rangers shirt. That's why.
Fair point, guys. Foxy?
Clancy took the easy way out. Instead of actually dealing with Devlin, that would have been the right thing to do. He thought to himself, "I'll just book the two of them. That way it'll be all right." That's exactly what Clancy's thought. That's why Arfield got a booking. He got a booking for nothing.
Yep, agree, mate. Foxy?
Another one badly handled by the referee for me. Poor decision again. I don't know. I can't remember the incident. But was Arfield in a tackle with him just prior to that?
Arfield made a tackle on him, and he probably clattered him on the shin or something like that.
Well, was Arfield's booking for the tackle? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. No.
I can't. Well, there's no other excuse for booking.
Absolutely.
For me.
That's what I'm saying. What's he understand, Foxy, I'm defensive minded, but you've got a midfielder versus a big centre half, and I quite like that big boy as a centre half. I quite liked him when he was at Hamilton. It was Hamilton Acres he came from, and not a bad centre half. Just coming back from a bad injury. So as far as I'm concerned, he can play a wee bit of football, but the two of them clashed, and okay, the referees let it go, and then all of a sudden he's got a hood of the boy, and I don't know whether it was for the tackle or whether that was him tackling him himself. I don't know. I don't understand it.
Anyway, we've been joined by Cushy. How you doing, Cushy?
Cushy number.
Hi, Cushy.
Hi guys, how are we?
Not too bad, mate. We're coming up to a tune pretty soon, but give us your overall summary, mate, and then we'll get a wee bit more in depth with you after the tunes, mate.
Yeah, I just hope we're not talking about referees' decisions for the rest of the season, albeit we're only one game in. I remember the start of last season where it was where it just the whole start of the season just seemed to be defined by really, really poor refereeing decisions. And if it's going to start again like this season, it's just it takes away from the game. From a neutral perspective, even that's the Aberdeen Rangers is a big clash. It's a big spectacle. People want to see a good game of football, and the referee. These referees are just ruining it by being amateurish in their outlook, So I really do hope they start getting their act together and applying the laws of the game appropriately and equally to both the teams that are on the park. Because for what we've seen so far, in that 93 minutes, it was a really, really poor, if not biased performance.
Okay, mate. Well, because you would have been asking the panelists we're on the points of both the challenges on our players, one being by Devlin, one being by Stevie May, mate. What's your points on those two individual challenges?
The Stevie May one, yeah, I thought it should have been booked. I think that when he took out Ryan Jack, actually at the time I didn't think it was a sending off. I thought it was a hard challenge, but I didn't think it was a particular sending off. Once I've seen it a couple of times, I started to slant towards actually that was a poor one. The Devlin one, I can't remember, to be honest with you, at this moment in time, so I wouldn't like to comment on it.
That was the one where Devlin grabbed Arfield. When he grabbed him by the shirt and sort of put his head towards him.
When he grabbed him, yeah, of course, yeah. So, again, why you got to question why players are doing that. If he's been aggressive in the park and he's shown that, when one of our players has just got his hands up and is open and saying, "Look, what are you doing?" And then, again, the referee just takes the easy route out and books both players. And that to me is similar to the Morelos incident in the start. You're getting. You're seeing people who they're afraid to retaliate, because if you do retaliate, you get sent off. But the actual person who's instigating the issue in the first place is getting the same punishment or less in the case of McKenna, who didn't get touched basically by the referee with the Morelos incident. So we're getting one player sent off, no booking for one, and another one the ref just takes easy way out and just books both players. It's just really poor refereeing, and the standard of refereeing in this country has to improve. It's not. until we get that, and until the referees start, applying the laws equally to both teams, we are constantly going to get this throughout the rest of the season. And I don't think that's what anybody wants. Nobody wants to talk about the referee after every single game, but unfortunately, we seem to be in a situation at the moment where that's all we seem to be talking about. And it's just poor. There's no wonder no Scottish referees attended the World Cup.
100%, mate. 100%. And I think, as you say, we put in a magnificent performance with 10 men for such long parts of that game, 87 minutes. And I agree with you, Cushy. Unfortunately, half of this call so far has been about the referee, but we should really be talking about how great the team performed. But we will do that in the second half, because we're going to go through each player. Just quickly before we go to a tune, guys, yourself, mate, your points on the Devlin Artfield incident.
Also, this is the one that riled me up the most, and I've been dying for you to come to me on it. See if you'd done that to somebody in the street and the police happen to walk by, what happens?
You'd end up in the clink for the night, probably.
Exactly. That is, I think it was maybe Bridge or Rudy that said it's an assault. That's what it was. As soon as you put your hands on a player, and especially as soon as you put your head towards them, it is an instant red card. That is the rules of the game. As soon as you put your head towards them in an aggressive manner, it's an instant red card. So, and why Arfield got booked is beyond me. There's no. It's, as Rudy said, it's laughable, is what it was. So, that's the one that riled me up the most, mate, and I still can't believe it. It makes me angry even just thinking about it.
Calm down, Wheels. Calm down.
Well, at that point, we'll take a break, and Foxy, I'm sure, will give us a wee tune to take us to halftime.
Celtic know all about their troubles. We will fight till the day is done. There's no a team like the Glasgow Rangers. No, not one. No, not one.
Thank you very much for that, Foxy. Great wee tune there, mate. Just another couple of shout-outs we'll give here. Obviously, first of all, for our own old school Blue. He's doing a shave. He's getting his lock shaved off. And all of us here who know old school and all the hard work he does, he loves his hair. He's got a long hair, and he's going to cut all that off. He's been growing it for years. He's cutting it all off for Macmillan Cancer and Native Macmillan Cancer. So we're going to be putting a few links in Facebook, Twitter, MixLR, and obviously the Rangers Radio.online site. So if you can please link into that, and if you do have a few shillings to spare, please give into that because it is for a great cause. Also, just again, we're going to talk about the Plymouth True Blues who are going to be joining us tomorrow night. They're coming on for half an hour to talk about their club's history, how they work, how they travel, where the clubs came from, and where it is now, obviously. And that's all down to Big Lee and Davey, who will be joining us tomorrow for that. Also, the Union Bears, who are having a march tomorrow, on the game against St Mirren here at the weekend. And Foxy, you have the details for that, mate, if you want to give a wee shout out of where they're starting and how they're going to be doing it.
Aye, the boys are gathering up at 1:45 at the Loudon and Kinnan Park, and then they're going to do a walk up to the stadium. They done one, I remember, was at the end of last season. It was absolutely terrific, standing there watching all the boys marching by, so good luck to them on Saturday. And if you're about in the area, please join them on their march to the stadium.
Here. We've seen tonight that Union Bears have actually joined one of the members, what it looks like anyways, the name has been added to the Rangers Radio.online. So we know you're listening. We don't bite on here, so you're more than welcome to come on if you want to talk about it. Not just about your march, but talk about all the good things you do, because we like to canvas what you guys do here and just bring a brilliant atmosphere to the stadium and the whole of the day for the fans. They love watching you doing all your work. So come on, talk about it, guys. Here's the platform and push what you're doing.
I love what they do, Ulster, the Union Bears. I think they add so much colour and noise to Ibrox on a match day. It's brilliant, and when Mrs. Rudy's there at the game, she spends more time watching the Union Bears than she does the football. She just adores them a bit. She just thinks she's got a T-shirt with her name on it and everything, So I think it's great when they do. They do a fantastic job. Well, fair play to them.
I'm not going to lie, Rudy, I'm jealous. See, when I'm stuck up in the club deck with the boys, I'm looking down at the Union Bears, I'm like, I wish the hell I was in there.
It looks like a lot of fun, doesn't it?
It does. And to be fair to them, it doesn't matter where the Rangers have been, their highs and their lows. Union Bears are there, they're singing, they're chanting. When you're losing, they're chanting. When you're winning, they're chanting. When you're, it's just fantastic. And what to do. And that's why we want you on here, guys. We want you on to come on, tell us all about it, because as I say, this is the platform for you to do it, and we'll push you all the way, guys. That's what we're here for. We're here for every Rangers supporters group, every podcast, anyone who's doing anything with Rangers, or you run a Facebook page, whatever it is, we're here to canvass it, and we'll back you 100%.
Well said, sir. Well said, mate. Well said.
We'll go on to the referee now. We're going to talk about the players individually, but Rudy, summary on the referee making his performance.
Right, I need to be careful what I see here, don't I? I think it was a shocking refereeing performance for the first game of the season. I kind of hoped that. I was kind of hoping the refereeing would have improved this season. Certainly from last season, some of the performances we saw from referees last season was just disgraceful, really. And I was hoping that this season would at least get into the season a few games before we were talking about contentious refereeing decisions and bad refereeing displays. But no, we're talking about 10 minutes into the first game, as we said in the post-match show on Sunday. 10 minutes into the first game of the season, 11 minutes, whatever it was, and there you go. There's the very first one. But in all honesty, Clancy's get previous, on many an occasion against Rangers. You can go back and look at them all. They're all there. They're on YouTube. You can see them all. And as soon as I found out Clancy was going to be the referee for this match, I just knew it wasn't going to go well. This wasn't going to be a good refereeing performance. I've got my own personal thoughts on Clancy. You've heard it many a time, Ulster. I've told you what I think of him. But it was poor. Very, very, very poor.
Fair comments, mate. I have to say, you've held yourself right there. I know you want to say a lot more, but you done well. You done well being live.
Thanks,
Bridge, man. I'll hear your real views on Skype Royal after. Go ahead, Bridge.
No, I think Rudy did well to hold his piece there. I think all of us, I have to say, I would ask people to watch what they're saying about the referee if they're going to voice it, just because we're live. But seriously, I heard, when did I hear it was going to be the referee? I think it was last Wednesday or Thursday, and I just burst out laughing. I had just 2 minutes earlier said, if a referee does this or a referee does that, just make sure we have a nice tight handle on the game and let the game flow, and you get a really good game out of it, and so on and so forth, trying to praise it up. And then somebody said it was Mr. Clancy. Well, I just burst out laughing. And I says, I'd like to take back everything I've just said there, because it ain't going to happen like that. And sure as shooting, it didn't. He's a very controversial character when it comes to Rangers games. I'm afraid to say he may not mean to be like that. I might be telling lies there, but really and truly is just woeful. Once again, not for the first time, but very poor. I'll agree with Rudy, a very poor performance by the referee. No, I don't think he made one decent decision, certainly no for Rangers anyway, that I saw. I don't think I saw one. So, very poor.
Okay, mate. Foxy?
I think the boys have summed it up well. Poor performance by the referee. Wouldn't go as far as saying cheating, but I might just after. The one thing that was good for when our manager came out and said after the event about the way we had been treated by referees there the last couple of years. Well, everybody on Sky watching that game would have watched and seen the decisions that went against us in that game. And I'm sure there's plenty of discussion went on and after watching that game and the poor refereeing in Scotland. There was another thing, Radio Clyde used to get an ex-referee in, didn't they? When there were controversial incidents in the game, but obviously the referee wouldn't have agreed with what he was going to say, and they never got him on, you know.
Well, I think it's fair to say that stations like Radio Clyde, etc., push a certain agenda. That's why we're trying to push this one, because the only agenda here is the Rangers agenda, folks. That's all we'll be pushing, and be pushing nothing else. Unfortunately, other stations have come to a point where radio stations, I guess, have to be formed because we're not getting balance. And that's why this show's been made, and that's why we're asking you to come on and promote your own stuff, because we'll do it here, because nobody else is going to do it for us. Gaz, referee.
Do I really have to? No, I'm kidding on.
Just do what Rudy done.
Listen, I have to say though, Rudy, I've not actually heard your show views, so I'm looking forward to that at the end of the
I'll
show.
kill you later, mate.
But I know it was a disgraceful performance. Let's be honest. He bottled it at the big decisions. That's all that needs to be said. My solution for it though would be, and I don't know what you might think of this, how about swapping referees from ourselves in the English Premier League from week to week? Bring some of them up here, put some of others down there, swap about. It's not exactly, you know, a big distance. You know, it can be easily done from week to week, and I think that might solve some of the refereeing issues.
The only thing I'll say on that, I don't think there's a big distance in miles, but there's a massive distance in quality of refereeing between here and between down there, to be honest. Maybe find out in the first game, let's be serious about it. Their standards pretty awful.
I bet at least we'd get some better quality up here. Do you know what I mean?
Well, exactly. I know that, mate. I know we need difference. We need a wee bit of difference, definitely. Unfortunately, the way it's going, it's just not good enough. Cushy, yourself, mate, on the refereeing performance?
Just dreadful. It was a dreadful 93 minutes from him, I felt, and I really do hope it gets better through the course of the season. I think we are, as Rangers supporters now, we're almost expecting some of these ridiculous decisions to go against us during the game. When Morelos is getting sent off and things like that, we're almost inured to it now. We almost know it's coming, and that's just an absolutely ridiculous situation to be in. So, I really do hope they start getting their finger out, because it's been, judging the first 90 odd minutes, it's an appalling start to the season.
Definitely. Well, I see people on Facebook, they're saying that the linesman made that certain decision, which is correct. And there's also guys asking for the referee to be demoted. But for me, that's kicking the can down the road, isn't it, really? You know, it's all right saying, you're crap, we'll put you down the next division. It just gives the next division the same problems.
Why should
though he should? I think the referees should be able to come out and explain why they've made certain decisions. I don't see why that is such a big issue. I know it's been talked about before on various media platforms, you know, but I don't see a problem with that. I think they really should come out and explain why they've made certain decisions. And give
I don't see Ulster why teams in the championship should be subjected to that kind of refereeing. Because the referees are not good enough, they're basically bumping them down for a week or two to the championship. That's no fair on the teams in the championship who are playing their best week in, week out, trying to get promotion up into the SPFL, into the Premier League rather. So why should they be subjected to completing utter garbage refereeing? I mean, it's not fair on them.
Garbage. I knew I was going to come in there somewhere.
But just another quick point about the whole refereeing situation in general in this country, and it's not just Clancy, I'm talking about them all across the board for me, because I could easily, off the top of my head, name 5 or 6 referees that are just not up to the job, right? So this is across the board here. Since Steven Gerrard has come in, before Steven Gerrard came in, let's say, if you go back to last season and the season before, and you look at some of the refereeing that we were subjected to, and I'm talking about Rangers here, you look at some of the refereeing we were subjected to, nobody cared, because we don't have the pundits on our side, we don't have the media on our side. We know what their agenda is, right? So we don't have anybody on our side to point any of this stuff out. Since Steven Gerrard has come in, they're starting to take notice down south. They want to know how Steven Gerrard's doing. They want to see see the games. They want to comment on the games, pundits and shows and radio shows, TV shows down south. They will see this standard of refereeing. Apparently, there's been 3 or 4 stations and shows already commented on the Morelos sending off, saying it was absolutely laughable that Morelos gets sent off when McKenna got away with that scot-free.
I think Ian Wright put a tweet out as well saying it was a shambles.
Yeah. So did
Andy Little.
And that's all because our manager is Steven Gerrard. So that's one thing, we can look at that now and say, well, the standard of refereeing now has to improve because they're not going to get away with it the way they did last season and the season before, because people down south are going to start calling it out. They're going to start noticing it and they're going to call it out. They won't in this country, but they will down south. And that's a good thing in my opinion also. That's a good thing.
Well, this is it. We don't want preferential treatment as Rangers support. We don't expect the best referees in the world, but I think we do expect fair refereeing. That's all we're asking for.
And consistency, Ulster. That's all we expect, just consistency. Referee the game fairly for both sides.
Can I come in, Ulster?
Yeah, go ahead, Bridge.
I was just going to say that I said after the game yesterday, we need to wait and see what the BBC's verdict on it was after the highlights package. And I watched it last night, and both the top pundits in the country who are with the BBC, they said it was a definite red card for Morelos, and they also said that they thought, in their opinion, that it should have been a red card at the penalty, which is just a wee fob because the damage is already done. So that's what they were saying. And it came to talking. I never said too much about the game, really. Their tactics and all that crap. A lot of rubbish. They don't know anything about it. But we started talking about the manager, and they were absolutely lashing the manager, lashing him for coming out and saying these things. Absolutely lashing him. That's what I heard anyway. So as far as I'm concerned, that's why I said earlier, most of the pundits in this country are much of a muchness, even if they were ex-Rangers players, are much of a muchness when it comes to when they're on the box or on the radio. They will say anti-Rangers things for sure, because somebody's paying them money to do it, and that's my opinion.
And they know how to keep the money rolling in, Bridge. That's why they do it, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Well, as I put on my own personal Facebook as soon as Steven Gerrard was announced, I said, look, you think you've got friends all over the world, but see now your Rangers manager, you'll find them all dropping like flies. Well, that's the way it's looking already. They're already turning on them, but we expected this anyway. But we've talked enough about referees. We've talked enough about that, because let's talk about the Rangers team, who put on a magnificent performance yesterday, going down to 10 men for as long as they did, the 87 minutes, and we'll keep quoting that. I thought the team were absolutely fantastic to a man, but we'll go through them individually, Rudy. And I know McGregor didn't have much to do, mate, but I would like to hear your thoughts on him first.
Yeah, solid as anything. McGregor, his usual McGregor performance. Just a real shame. He would have been absolutely gutted at losing that goal in injury time, I'm sure. Wasn't called on much. I think, truth be told, I think they had one shot and goal and scored with it. So he didn't have a hell of a lot to do, usual Alan McGregor, just good performance at the back, solid as anything. Talking to his defence, it's what you expect to Alan McGregor, and that's why we brought him in. Delighted to have him here. He's going to win us games this season, in my opinion. I don't know if it was Ox or somebody said, he's capable of winning us 12 to 15 points this season. That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Absolutely delighted to have him here. Scotland's top goalkeeper, in my opinion.
Here, mate. Bridgeman?
Yeah, I can't disagree with anything they said. I think he had a great game. There's nothing you can really say in a negative, other than the fact that he lost a goal. That's he never made that save, whatever, So we lost a goal, and other than that, the goalkeeper was excellent. Once again, excellent. Made a couple of nice wee cutouts and so on and so forth. No problems with him. Well done, Mr. McGregor.
Thanks. We've been joined by Ben. Ben's another guy who does a lot of YouTube, and he does a lot of interviews. That's another one we'd like to push, and he's at All Things Jers on the Twitter. So if you can give him,
you want to push Ben?
Oh yes, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Anyone who's doing things for the Rangers, we'll be the first to push them. Go ahead, Ben. What's your points made on everything Rangers and the game?
To be honest, one thing that I first like to ask is I like a bit more information. Is it right that Ryan Jack spent 2 days in hospital, or have I been misinformed?
Well, not 100% sure.
No, he was released last night. He was released last night, Ben.
So he spent 2 days in hospital?
No, he was just carried off the pitch yesterday, and then he got released last night.
After the Stevie Maynock. Right, gotcha.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Ben, mate.
Actually.
It was. Yeah, what do you think? Well, let's go. And Ryan Jack, since you brought that one up, mate, we're going to talk about his performance, so we'll keep that one out of the road in a minute. But what do you think in the challenge?
Is that aimed at me?
It is indeed.
Well, I mean, I don't think Stephen May really intended on doing that to Jack. I might be one of the only Rangers fans to think that, but in my opinion, he was looking the other way. Bit of a dangerous jump, and definitely went through the back of him, which was careless to say the least. But I don't think he fully intended to really knock Jack, because he's not an Aberdeen loyal. He's not been there long. If it was one of his teammates when he was previously at Aberdeen, I wouldn't have put it past him. But yeah, it was definitely a foul challenge, and it was the kind of thing that the referee really should have had more of a sterner word with players about, because there was a lot of challenges, not just on Aberdeen's part, but on Rangers' part as well, that shouldn't have happened. But I mean, the referee lost control of the game from the start of the whistle, really, so I wasn't really too surprised when there wasn't a long conversation about that.
Okay, mate. Well, we're talking about we're going for individual performances at the minute, and we're on McGregor, so I'll keep continuing the track that I've been going so far. So it's your turn now, Bridge.
I'd already spoken, pal. I already said it, but
you've already had it. Well,
I've already spoken about McGregor. Yes,
it's Foxy. Then sorry, I've got that many years. I'm trying to give you all a chance to speak. Foxy, go ahead, McGregor.
Didn't he have too much action to deal with? The goalie didn't have much chance in saving. Nearly got to it, but didn't get there. I think he played his part in commanding those in front of him, doing a lot of shouting. You seen him and encouraging the two centre halves in front. Usual for Alan McGregor, class acting goal.
Gaz?
For me, I think apart from Goldson, I think he'll be probably the most important signing of the season, if I'm honest. I love him. I've always loved him, and I was delighted when he came back. And I'm very confident that he will save so many points this season. We won't be dropping those stupid points that we dropped at home last season with him between the six. So, obviously the goal was disappointing, but no, I'm delighted. And as I say, I'm very confident that he will stop us losing those silly points. So, very happy.
Okay, mate. Cushy?
Yeah, it's just reiterating what the guys are saying. Very solid. He's a real safe pair of hands. There's a real kind of air of confidence about him, Katic, and Goldson at the back that we've not had for many years. It's so little to do in the Aberdeen game that I actually think it probably went against him when he tried to make the save for the Aberdeen goal. I think if he had a bit more to do, he might have been a bit more stretched and warmed up and a bit more limber. And may I get some fingertips to it, but he could have sat down and had his dinner at some points in that game. He had so little to do, and it probably went against him a little bit when it came to actually making a save in the 93rd minute. So certainly no blame attached to him for it. He's a great signing for us, and I'm sure he's going to have a cracking season.
Some people in Aberdeen will try and tell you that was the game plan. Let McGregor go cold. And then hit him at the end.
It worked in a treat.
Ben, yourself on McGregor?
Yeah, I mean, again, didn't have too much to do really, in my opinion, but he did mess up a couple of kicks. I think his pass accuracy must have been shocking. But very, very confident with him in goals still. Not his fault, actually. Did you see the way that the ball, it was sod's law, it just trickled right into the corner when no goalkeeper could have got it. So, sod's law, mate. But no, yeah, I'm perfectly happy with McGregor and goals. Over the moon, in fact. But do feel a lot more confident without Wes there. Hate to say it, as I do like him, but,
Yeah, I know what you're saying, mate. I know you like him. We'll go across the back four now. So, Rudy, your points on Tav?
Yeah, I thought Tav played well. I think he's improving as the weeks go on. Maybe the goal last Thursday there in the European game, we could have been a bit more aware where the player was, who seems like we're linked with. I thought he played well. He stepped up to take the penalty for me. It was just cool as anything, wee bit of the usual stuff for Aberdeen, before the penalty was taken. Calm as you like, slotted the ball away brilliantly. And I thought, along with the rest of the defence, I just thought he played really well, and I can understand why after 87 minutes, or 86, 85 minutes of playing with sort of 10 men, I can understand why the defence, would start to get a bit weary by the time Aberdeen scored that goal, because they had a lot of running today, a lot of cutting out, a lot of marking today. Played really exceptionally well, the whole team probably did, Tav, for me, starting to, I wasn't sure about him getting the captain's armband, to be honest. I thought Steven Gerrard would have came in and brought his own captain with him, or certainly picked maybe from the new players who was going to be captain. But I think he's starting to look like a captain now. If he can just sort his defensive head out when we're playing. We know how great he is at going forward, but if he can sort his defensive head out, for me, he's playing pretty well at the moment. I think he had a really good game yesterday.
Bridgeman?
Tavernier?
Yes, mate. This is his performance in the game. What did you think?
I thought good performance. The only thing I've got to not complain, say in the negative side about Tavernier is that wee incident that we spoke about earlier when somehow or other he got blocked when the ball was bouncing in the box. It was taken out by the young Ferguson. But I mean, a player of his experience, that should never have happened. Obviously tired and maybe a lack of concentration just at that point in time. No blame really, but that's the only thing negative I've got to do. Other than that, it's a smashing game.
Foxy?
I thought it was a more disciplined role that he played in Sunday. Didn't he maraud too far forward? I think he kept the wee Drowner quiet for most of the game.
Wee Drowner.
And I thought he took his penalty well. I thought he had a reasonable game, mate, Taverner.
Okay, buddy. Gaz?
The wee Drowner.
Well said,
Foxy.
Aye, mate. It was a real captain's performance for me. He done really well. Obviously, you'll know I've kind of slated him at times for his defensive abilities recently, but no, he was much better at that yesterday. And as I say, coolness for the penalty. You know, if it wasn't for that, we might not have got the result at all. So I was very happy with Tav yesterday.
Okay, mate. Cushy?
Yeah, I think he took his penalty well. The only negative for me, I think, in his performance is that I felt that Mackay-Steven, particularly at the tail end of the second half, was getting a bit more room and was starting to get some good crosses into the box. But I felt Tav had handled it pretty well for about 75 minutes of the game, but just at the tail end of it, just started to give Mackay-Steven, or the Drowner, as he's called, which that was amusing. But I just felt he was just allowing him to get a little bit more crosses in, and the guy was starting to create some Aberdeen attacks from the left hand side. But yeah, it's Tav's still to convince me. I think that he's good enough in this revamped defence that we've got. But I certainly can't really complain about his performance yesterday.
Ben?
Yeah, I mean, a couple of times I was really impressed with Tav. There was a couple of explosive runs that he had from the back, intercepted at the right time, pushed forward, real power in his legs, beats two men, and then started to pander out towards the wing and then had to pass it. Very impressed with that. Also, his penalty takes a lot of nerve, a hell of a lot of balls and nerve for a captain of a football club to step up, take a penalty, but beforehand he's made to wait a couple of minutes from an Aberdeen injury, which seemed to be genuine, so fair enough on that part. But my only thing that I could really fault him with was when the Aberdeen goal actually came. I think it was the 93rd minute. Tav seemed to be more interested in falling to the floor than standing strong. But again, wasn't his fault. The ball didn't actually go that close to him, but to see him kind of get pushed to the ground so easily was a bit frustrating for me. But again, can't blame him. On the whole, great performance, and starting to see real captain qualities from him.
Okay, buddy. I was going to talk about Cottage. I was going to ask you about Cottage and Goldson individually, but I'm not going to do that because I think they guys have made a partnership. They're really, really playing some nice football together. They're really getting each other, and it's really good to see. So instead of putting them individually, I'm going to give them as a partnership. So, Rudy, our two centre-backs, mate, your thoughts on them?
What a huge improvement from last season and season before as well, in my opinion. The two of them just seem to be getting better and better. You know, you've got Connor Goldson there, calm, collected, always looking to make a pass when, the opportunity arises. Cattage, young guy, Cattage, 21-year-old or something like that. Cattage there, a young player who for me is I think he's just going to be a standout for us this season at the back. Love the way the two of them work together. I have so much confidence in both of them. I think the performances so far in the last few games, Europe included, has been excellent. And what a difference compared to last season. Definitely the thumbs up for me. Long may it continue. And they'll get better. The two will get better. The more they know each other's game, they'll just get better. I love the way one of them, when they move forward, the other one drops back. The two of them are already talking to each other, who's going to do what. It's fantastic. I think they'll just get better.
We seem to have lost Ulster there, so...
Ulster gone.
I'll go in for that one then.
Right, on you go, Brad.
I was just going to say, I agree with Rudy once again. It's a bit of a habit to agree with Rudy all the time.
You're an intelligent man, Brad.
Exactly. No, in this case, he's right. Once again, the two of them are excellent. As you know, I've been long and weary, and I've bored the arse off all of you shouting and bawling about getting me two big centre halves that can run, play football, and will fight for everything. And that's the two. They're doing it. That my only, if it's at all possible, if I could make a complaint about them, it's not even a complaint, so forgive me. It's once again, it's similar to a Tavernier, where we've got high balls coming into the edge of our box, and neither of the two of them were there when the ball was headed. They should have been, I believe, one of them should have been out there taking that ball, but it didn't happen. Then they're jumping, they're leaving a smaller chap to jump against a taller chap, which 99 times out of 100, the tall chap's going to win the ball, and that put the ball in there in a dangerous position. That's the only thing, nothing else. It's a small thing. We lost one goal, but also we lost one goal last week. So I'll keep saying that all the time. So last minute of the game, or last couple of minutes of the game, a bit of lack of concentration, I think, from everybody, maybe tiredness. But other than that, fabulous. What a partnership. What a defensive partnership. Brilliant.
Agreed there, Bridge. What about yourself, Fox, on the two centre backs, mate?
Forming a really good partnership and a good understanding with the goalkeeper at the back of them. Goldson is, for me, the leader out of the two. Goldson better on the ball, better distribution. Katic, no nonsense. When in doubt, clear it out. Good partnership for me. I rated them very highly up there in Aberdeen. So they played really well.
Gaz?
Fox, you just stole my line. If in doubt, punt it out. Katic, brilliant. And he's a goal scorer as well. Do you know what I mean? A central defender that can score goals. I'm well chuffed with that. Goldson, as I say, I think, he could potentially be one of, if not the biggest signing of the summer, because he has just been solid from day one. And I think the longer the two of them play together, I think they'll only get better, and they'll feed it off each other, and they'll bring out the best in each other. And with Greg's in goals, then absolutely no worries. But I'm very happy with the two of them.
Just when you're talking about if and doubt, get it out, it reminds me a lot of Davy Weir, big Katic. I'm not saying he'd be the same class as him. I don't know. Haven't seen enough of him yet, but as you guys say, he doesn't play anything fancy. He wins the ball in the air, defensively and offensively. He's a danger. He can score the odd goal with a header, but he also gets the ball out and just gets it cleared and keeps the defence right and gets the whole team sort of organised, doesn't he?
Kind of like Cameruso, don't you think, Ulster?
This is it, but we're just, if we can be half the player of either those two guys, we've got a real gem. Cushy, the two centre backs made as a pairing, what did you think?
Yeah, I think they're a massive upgrade in what we've had previously. I don't think there's any doubt about that. We not only have they look as if they can defend, but they've both got nice touch. They've got good passing ability. Some of the crossfield balls that Goldson plays are absolutely excellent, and it's a real good out ball for us at times. But we've also got an aerial threat now at corners and things like that, which we really struggled with as well. So it's all positive, and from those two pairings, I've got absolutely no complaints with them at all. And just to highlight what Gaz I think said there, Goldson could be the sign of the summer so far. They've just come in. They've not looked pensive at all in terms of joining a new club and playing in front of 50,000 people at Ibrox. They look, to use Gerard's phrase, they look as if they're a couple of players who are relishing playing at Ibrox, which has not been the case for a lot of Rangers defenders in the last few years. And you can just see the difference in terms of ability.
Agreed there, mate. Ben, your thoughts on the defence, made the two centre backs?
The word partnership's been used by all of you. Absolutely spot on. Seeming to work really, really, really well together. I like the differences between the two of them as well. Goldson, he can play pretty passes. He can get up there, win the ball back, try and push a move as well. Whereas Katic, someone previously mentioned, he's a no-nonsense centre-back, punt out there, and that's what centre-backs really used to be, and that's when they're at their best, in my opinion. But Goldson's got real captain material about him. There's something about him I really like. I feel like we get to see him go up and be deadly from corners, as he previously has been for Shrewsbury Town. But interestingly enough, I think Katic has now scored more goals for us, albeit not in the league, than he has done altogether in his career, with short-term career that is so far anyway, for Slavia Lupo. But I'm really interested to see how that progresses. I was told as well that Kasic was a man who liked to stay back for corners, but I got that incredibly wrong, just like Umar Sadiq's pace. Sorry about that, boys. I'm really, really enjoying watching them play together. I'm no longer nervous when the ball goes towards our defence, which is a huge change, to be honest. So yeah, that's something that I'm never going to take for granted, particularly with the likes of Kiernan that we had previously.
Oh, well, I think that has to be credit to Steven Gerrard. I think, I heard that myself. He likes to stay back, but maybe Steven Gerrard actually looked at it and went, "Here, big man, you can be an asset up front when it comes to the corners." That's why he moved him there. So that would prove to me that Steven Gerrard's, that's a class decision from him, mate. As you say, he's probably scored more goals now than he has his whole career. Maybe that's something that past managers haven't been able to see, the asset that he actually has as an attacking presence when it comes to corners, which is good. Has come up trumps for us so far, and hopefully that progresses onto the season. But obviously now we're going to go on to our left back, who is Flanagan, or who was Flanagan, should I say. So, Rudy, your thoughts on Flanagan?
Aye, pretty good. He's fall back that knows how to defend, first and foremostly. And rock solid, in my opinion. He can play either side of the park. If there's a need for having him on the right-hand side, we've always got that possibility. You could tell he's a quality player. He's played at a high level. I thought he had a really good game yesterday, but, like I said, losing the goal at the end, the whole defence has probably been gutted by that, as most, I suppose the whole team were really, losing a goal so late in the game in injury time. But, yeah, not been disappointed at all by Flanagan. I think, I'm trying to remember what game it was. I think he had a wee bit of it wasn't poor as such, but he just seemed out of things for about 20-30 minutes of the game. And I think it was the second game, the first game against Osijek, possibly. But apart from that, I've been fairly impressed with him, I have to say. And again, I was impressed with him yesterday. As I said, he's a fullback that knows how to defend. And that, yes, you want your defenders to know how to defend, if Tav moves up the park at pace, moving the ball forward, Flanagan just drops back a bit and just stays there, lets Tav get on with it, So, all good with Flanagan for me. Glad he's there. Good player, does a good job for us.
Okay, buddy. What about Bridge, yourself, on Flanagan?
Flanagan, I think he's been as good a signing as anybody up to now. I don't have any problem with him. Obviously, a weak point is he's not a left-footed player, and he's playing the left side of the game. So you can see when any player who struggles in a particular position and he has to turn to kick the ball, get it on his good side, and if he can't do that, he tends to make a wee bit of hash of it, or indeed just put it out of the park as quickly as he can. And that's the only weakness I can see in him. What I do hope with the possibility of this guy coming in, coming in for Osijek, was it? He's a wonderful player, great left foot. So I would imagine he's going to be the left-sided player. I hope that we can maybe get him in. Flanagan either takes over from Tav at right back, or indeed move him into a central midfield, central defensive midfielder. So that might work. I don't know if our managers thought of any of these things. Obviously, would have, but I'd be interested to see where he places Flanagan. Because obviously Tav's future's in doubt possibly if Flanagan moves over there, because I think he's a smashing player and a big find, massive find for us.
Okay, bud. Fox?
Solid fullback for me. I agree with others that being on the left-hand side, we don't see him his full potential. Doesn't he offer a lot going forward? But definitely a solid defence. Probably the strongest fullback that we've got so far at the club. I don't see him taking Tav's position, but I think he'll end up being cover for both Tav and if we get a new left back, mate.
Okay, mate. Gaz?
Yeah, he's very much no nonsense, mate. And Stevie obviously knows him well from being down in Liverpool, so he's obviously seen something in him to want to bring him up here. I think I don't know. I'm kind of torn about the whole, what side to play him on, because if you do move him over to the right, do you then move Tav up and that pushes Candace out of the team, or I don't know. But I know I've been pleased with what I've seen of him so far. But I do think we might potentially see even more of him if he does go over that right side. If we get this boy from Osijek over the line. So I know, but as I say, very happy with what I've seen of him so far.
Okay, mate. Cushy?
I think Flanagan's a superb signing. I think he's a better player than this league. And I'm absolutely delighted that we managed to get him. I think when you look at the couple of goals that we've let in recently against Osijek and against Aberdeen, they've kind of came from the from the right back position in our team, and I struggle to think of when teams have really threatened down there outside right in our left back position where Flanagan plays. You know, he doesn't get up the park all that much, but he just seems to snuff a lot of stuff out without doing it, without being very overt about it. He just seems to be in the right position. You know, just wins the ball, gets it out for a throw in, and just seems to snuff a lot of stuff out before it actually happens, before it actually starts. So I think again he's been an absolutely superb signing for us.
Okay, mate. Ben.
You cannot fault the guy, mate. Cannot fault the guy. In my opinion, he very, very rarely puts a foot wrong. His feet, his interceptions are just second to none. An absolutely class interceptor. Seems to be there when we had players previously that get danced about. We jockey for that second too long. Flanagan has that bit of experience where he knows when to intercept and when's an important time. Also, I think he really, really dealt with the abuse he got from Aberdeen fans really quite well. Just kind of laughed in their faces and moved on. Always seems to be in the right position. Previously said that he's not given much going forward, which is quite right. But I like the fact that we've got two defenders there that like to stay back and just be no-nonsense defenders. And I'm really, really, really quite proud of him. The fact that he can turn his life around like that. I mean, you'd have thought that his career would have been over after what's been going on with him. But no, he's picked it back up. Gerrard gave him a second chance and he took it.
Okay, guys. Well, we've said that the centre-backs have been a partnership, so I think it's only fair to put Jack and Koulibaly as a partnership in the centre defence midfield. So, Rudy, yourself, mate, the two centre defence midfields in Jack and Koulibaly. Your thoughts on them?
Jack has been immense in the last couple of games for me, and I think the game changed yesterday with Jack off injured. Unfortunately, I think I mentioned at the beginning of the show, possibly wrong substitution for me, or the wrong substitute came on. But anyway, Jack, I think he's. I mean, we've seen a bit of him last season till he got the bad injury, and then he was out for months. And I think that badly affected our midfield last season because I think Jack was coming onto a game. Never seen the best of him, and certainly Steven Gerrard and the coaching team, Gary McAllister, his assistant, are certainly getting the best out of Ryan Jack. Ryan Jack will go on this season. If he can stay injury-free, will go on this season to be a huge player for us, absolutely huge. I think Koulibaly, really like him. He's strong, maybe not the tallest of players, but he's got really good build, physique. He's quick, he's pacey, doesn't mind a tackle, he's good at breaking stuff up. I think they're work really well together, the two of them, and I can see Koulibaly just getting better and better as the season gets on, and he gets more game time and he gets more match fit. I thought the two of them were excellent together yesterday, and I'm looking forward to them just improving as the season goes on.
Okay, mate, Bridge.
Ryan Jack, most assuredly, from a non-defensive player, shall we say, from a midfield upwards, marvellous player. Probably the best and most skillful player, and I've got a head on him. Sees the game, reads the game properly most of the time, and makes some lovely passes. Marvellous player, great player. We got him for nothing, and I'm sure that in a couple of seasons' time, if he keeps on going the way he's going, he will be a mainstay for Rangers, and he'll be worth a lot of money. That's for sure. Koulibaly, I agree with everything everybody's said, but one of my thoughts on it is, I think Koulibaly's very young. I mean, very young for a midfielder, much like young McCrory. But I believe that the loan deal that we've got with Koulibaly now, I might be wrong on this, but I'm sure I read somewhere that it's going to be like the one with Murphy, where he's on loan but the option to buy, and the probability is that we'll be taking that option up because he's been superb. It really has been. He's got some weaknesses, we know that. Rudy's mentioned it. He's a wee bit short and so on and so forth. But really and truly, what an engine. What an engine. Marvellous player. Well done, son.
Gaz?
I think Ryan's one of the players he's going to go from strength to strength under Stevie. As I say, he's been immense the last couple of games. So very happy with him. Koulibaly, I absolutely love that guy. Ever since he put in that challenge against, was it Ozjek or Scoopy? I can't remember. But ever since he put that challenge in, I absolutely love him. He's solid. He's got pace. Delighted, absolutely delighted. It's been a long time since we've had a strong defence and a strong midfield, and now I think we've got that. So no worries at all.
Okay, bud. Kush?
Yeah, I think Ryan Jack's thriving this season because he's not stuck in the centre of midfield trying to shore up a poor central defence. So I think that kind of weights off his shoulders a little bit, and he can start playing his own game rather than trying to think about where he should be so that his defence doesn't get torn to shreds. I think you're seeing the benefit of that. I think you're seeing the benefit of a player who's getting praise heaped on him by the manager, and he's responding to that in terms of his performances. So long may it continue. I hope he's okay from Sunday, and he starts on Thursday. And it goes from strength to strength. In terms of Koulibaly, he doesn't do anything absolutely fantastic, but it just seems to work hard, close things down, just stop other teams playing, and that, it reminds me a little bit in terms of the way he plays of Stuart McCall. Just works his socks off. Stops other teams playing and then gives the ball to people better. He's certainly got a bit more physicality about than McCall had. I know a couple of guys have been saying that he's not the biggest, but he's still 6 feet tall. So he's not any kind of he's not any shrinking violet when it comes to that. He's been a very good signing, and I think he will allow other people in our midfield to go and shine.
Okay,
could I just ask people who aren't speaking to go on mute, please? I'm getting a lot of interference.
Thanks for that, Fox. Ben?
That's why I keep taking ages to reply, because I'm on mute. So I'm very much impressed with Koulibaly. I'm pretty certain there's a way that we can get him for free as well. If we just get his contract and put an R in front of the club that he's currently at, I'm pretty sure that legally he becomes one of our own. I'm really impressed with his physicality. I'm impressed with his physicality, and I'm very much impressed with the way that he's taken to the Scottish game. He understands how physical it is, and in France, it's just not. His pace is a real asset. It's real powerful burst of pace, just like what Tav can display, but he seems to have fantastic fitness. And Ryan Jack, he was good last season, but what a step up this has been for a player that's just come back from a long-term injury to be as inspirational as he is now. You'd have to question why he's not got the captain's armband on his arm, but like I say, Steven Gerrard, if there's a man who knows about the captaincy, it's the captain of England and the captain of Liverpool. But yeah, thoroughly impressed. We're talking about partnerships, and there's partnerships forming now across the park, but the real question is, can Morelos get one?
Okay, bud. Well, we're cutting it a wee bit short here, so Rudy, I'm going to come to you, obviously, and we'll just talk about, I'm just going to throw in Artfield, Murphy, and Windass and Morelos all sort of one comment, if you can. Well, as much as you can, because I know Morelos didn't play much of the game yet, so if you can just put your points across there.
Morelos' last couple of games, I thought it's been absolutely brilliant. I was so looking forward to seeing him against Aberdeen, because I thought he'd have put a right shift in like he did in the previous couple of games. Arfield, I would also have Arfield on the park. I think he's got bags of experience coming for the English Premiership. He's played so well. He was a huge part of Burnley's promotion. I'm no Josh Windass. I'm still no 100% on. Thought he played okay time yesterday, and I think what do you call him? Steve's name now. Murphy. I'm not 100% on Murphy yet. I think that the last couple of games he's been a wee bit too quiet for my liking. But all in all, they're good players. They just need to up their game a wee bit. Morelos, for me. I think he'd have put a great shift in yesterday. I was so disappointed when he went off. But fairly decent performance from the three. But Arfield, I thought, played really well.
Okay, Bud, thanks for that, mate. Bridge?
Out of those four that you've mentioned there, you can't complain about any of them. I personally don't think you can complain about any of them. I thought they put apart from the short spell that Morelos was on, I thought they played very well when they were on. I just don't see how we can get anybody better than the ones that we've got. And a mixture of the young lads that are sitting waiting to come on as well. I think Murphy will come on and probably end up a really good goal scorer for us. That's my honest opinion. But I'm very happy with him. Very, very happy with him.
Okay, buddy. Gaz?
I mean, Arfield, I'll be honest, I don't feel personally that I've seen enough of him to make a proper judgment on him as yet. So I'll maybe save that for another time. Windass, I'm just not keen on him at all. Morelos is going to be a much different player from what I'm seeing at the moment. I think you're going to see him doing a lot more in terms of, rather than just shooting every opportunity, he seems that he's going to look for passes now, which is really good to see. And again, Murphy, I've got to be honest, I'm not his biggest fan. Not saying he's not a good player, because he is, but I don't know, something just doesn't sit right for me. I just don't think he does quite enough in games. So, that's me. Keep it short and sweet.
Okay, Bud. Cushy?
Yeah, I think I'm probably the same as the guys. I think Windass for me looks just lost any other times when he's running straight in goal with a very, very simple decision to make. And in a game like Sunday's, where he's in a formation, he's got to sit. He's got to make decisions in terms of when to sit, or when to push on and try and squeeze defenders. He just looked absolutely lost for me for most of that game. I'm not disputing he didn't put in a shift, but that's the kind of least I expect from Rangers players when they're down to 10 men up at Aberdeen. So it just looked lost for me. Murphy, I'm been very disappointed with Jamie Murphy since he's signed for us, since he's actually signed permanently for us. I thought he would kind of kick on with the new management, but it seems to have seems to have tailed a little bit in his performances. He's wanting to stop his game, because it's not as if he's not getting plenty of the ball, but there's not enough coming from him. There's not enough end product from Murphy at the moment, and so I'm hoping he improves, because at the moment I don't see it. Morelos is still our best forward. Arfield, very tidy without being stunning. He looks a good signing, but again, I want to see a little bit with Murphy. I want to see more from both these players. I'm still of the opinion that if we get a decent price in for Windass before this window goes, then I'd have no problems with selling him and trying to bring in a replacement.
Okay, buddy. Ben?
Again, taking an age, my apologies. My phone screen is absolutely messed up. I suppose I've been a bit. I was a bit disappointed, really, when we started to reel all of the transfers in, and Gerrard was building from the back, great, fantastic, and then I was really calling out for a striker, and then I stopped and thought to myself, well, what's Gerrard really thinking? He's brought in Amos Sadiq, but no one really other than that. Up top, of course, you could argue Ajaria, of course, is someone that plays up the top, but more as a camera attacking mid, or even winger, it seems to be. But I suppose the way that Gerrard's thinking is that we have the attack that scored the most goals in the league. We scored 76 league goals, Celtic scored 73. But coincidentally, out of the top five, we also conceded the most at 50, so that's why he's building from the back. But Jamie Murphy, a few good points raised. I mean, he gets what it is to play for the shirt, but I've been disappointed with his performances too. Important to note, he is still new to Rangers, of course, not as a fan, but as a player, and players do dip in form. That's very much a sign of a player that's class is permanent, form is temporary. Josh Windass, a confused player at times. I think that's all I'm going to say about him, other than the fact that he's got great potential, probably the most in the team, attacking-wise. Morelos could be an absolute rock this season. I still feel he needs a bit of support, maybe with two up top. And Candeas, very, very, very hard-working player. I feel like he defends a bit better than Tav some games, which is a bit strange. But Arfield as well, what a signing that is. Thoroughly exciting, so experienced. He just threads the ball through to players. His vision is exemplary, and he just seems to be in the right position. I would love to go and see him banging a league goal.
You on that? Is that you taping, Bridge? You see I've got off mute there. Brilliant.
What was that? Yeah, you shouting at me there, bud?
No, I wouldn't shout at you, Bridge. I would never shout at you.
Sorry.
No, but that's sort of us coming to a close. But first of all, on the personal note, I've joined Twitter lately as Ulster Burr, and it's at Burr Ulster, and I have to give a shout out to the guys that follow me, that share everything that I'm putting out about the show, and they're a great help. I have a big help to the Rangers fan channel. The four lads had a dream on Twitter. Rangers Media, Tom Miller himself, he had a fantastic interview with us, and the Plymouth True Blues. Them guys completely, they keep sharing everything I put out there to promote the show. Without them, I wouldn't get as many likes, wouldn't get as many shares, and we wouldn't have as many people listening. A big thank you to everybody who does listen to the show. The numbers are incredible. They really are. And we appreciate you guys listening in. And we appreciate all the shares and everything you guys do to keep promoting the show. And hopefully the show gets bigger and gets stronger. A big thank you to Rudy for joining us tonight, the Gaz, the Cushy, the Ben, and Fox who does the technicals. And please, Bridge, you are the main man. We want you to give us a shout out before we go here. And obviously Fox will give us a tune. And all being well, fingers crossed, Oxy will be back with us tomorrow, so I can finally take a seat, take a breath, and Oxy can carry it on from there. But that's what we're hoping for, fingers crossed. Go ahead, Bridge.
Sorry, mate. Before Bridge comes in, just very quickly, mate, I think you deserve a shout out as well.
Well done, excellent. Yeah,
you're a sick
rocks. So I think you deserve a shout out as well, mate.
You're a sick wheels. You're a sick.
Well, the sad thing is, I take a bottle of wine every time I'm doing this show to calm my nerves.
Wheels will not send you wine. He won't send you.
Oxy, get yourself back here, or I'll end up flipping up. But go ahead, Bridge. Give us a shout.
Can I just a smashing night tonight? Marvellous discussions and obviously major issues coming from yesterday's game. And I dare say we'll be talking about them for quite a while yet. But to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly the Rangers fans on here on RB radio station and Rangers Radio, every single one of us, we have to keep it going for the Rangers because we bloody well need it. Keep it going.
Sing of victory until the football glory from Kilmarnock to Dundee. We follow Glasgow Rangers, our hearts are strong and true. We are the people who cheer the boys in blue. A goal, we're ready to acclaim. A goal, to win another game. We follow Glasgow Rangers, our hearts are strong and true. We are the people who cheer the boys in blue. When Rangers take the field, they'll follow on to triumph, for we know they'll never lose. And 60,000 voices will cheer the whole game through. We are the people who cheer the boys in blue.